Islam and Catholicism are two of the biggest religions in the world, and having similar roots, there's bound to be some striking similarities between the faiths. Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and now we're going to be exploring this very fascinating episode. It's been highly requested on this channel. I'm going to be looking at Catholicism specifically though, and not looking at Christianity on a whole, but when it comes to Islam, I'll be looking at Islam on a whole. So let's just jump into it. We're going to notice that there's some pretty surprising similarities. Starting off at number 10, the reverence of Jesus in these religions. Muslims and Catholics, they view Jesus as somebody who performed great miracles, and both these religions consider him to be the Messiah. According to the Quran, the Muslim holy book, Jesus was born miraculously through God's Spirit to the Virgin Mary without having any earthly father. And Jesus will also appear near the end time to defeat the false Messiah. So as you can see, both Islam and Catholicism have similar beliefs when it comes to Jesus. But it's not just a similarity when it comes to Jesus, there's also great similarities when it comes to the reverence for Mary in both of these religions. Great reverence for Mary, Jesus' mother, is a huge similarity. Mary is seen as a woman who is blessed among all women, and although she is a very central figure in Catholicism, over in the Quran, she actually has an entire chapter known as Surah Maryam, which is named after her. Mary is also mentioned in the Quran a total of 34 times, and this is actually more than the number of times that she's mentioned in the Bible. Number 8, we have the similarity with prayer beads. Now, these are used to mark the repetition cycles of prayer. In Catholicism, they are used to pray the rosary to the Virgin Mary. And over in Islam, the beads are referred to as misbaha, tasbih, or sibha, and they usually contain 99 normal sized beads, and they actually correspond with the 99 names for God in Islam. And there's also 2 smaller beads that separate every 33rd bead. Pilgrimage is another big thing, and one of the 5 pillars of Islam is to perform Hajj, which is a pilgrimage to the city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia, and a Muslim is required to do this at least once in their lifetime, as long as they're physically and financially able to do so. But in Catholicism, there is no compulsory pilgrimage that Catholics need to perform. However, Catholics regularly, on their own free will, perform several different pilgrimages to different holy sites around the world. One of those holy places are even the Holy Land of modern-day Israel. Catholics also visit the Vatican City and the Church of St. Peter over in Rome. Number 6 brings us to the similarity in the belief in one God. Islam and Catholicism are monotheistic religions at the core. That's probably one of their most similar attributes. Each of these religions also hold Abraham as one of the most central figures in the faith. And Abraham, by the way, is known in some religious circles to be the father of monotheism. That, of course, is the belief in one God. And guys, you know, before I forget, while we're on the topic of talking about similarities, we actually did a related video to this, but that one highlights the differences between Islam and Christianity on a whole. That is a very interesting video. We go into a lot of the theological beliefs. So if you're interested, I'll have the link to that video below in the video description section for you to check out after this one. Continuing now to number 5, this similarity is a similarity in the crescent moon. You'll see many images of the Catholic Virgin Mary that show her standing over a crescent moon of some sort, or some sort of moon figure is included in an image with the Virgin Mary. Islam, however, doesn't necessarily use the moon in that way, but in Islamic mosques, you'll see that some of them have the crescent moon and the symbol placed right on top of the mosque, and also the symbol of the crescent moon is even used on flags of certain Muslim countries, and this is to represent Islam. Similarity at number 4 is fasting. Fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. So during the month of Ramadan, which is the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, Muslims are to fast from dawn until sundown. They also must stay away from any intimate relations, as well as any sort of other addictive habits that they might have. For Catholics though, fasting is a form of penance, and this is done to help make amends for any of their sins that they committed. Every single year, Catholics are encouraged to fast and also turn away from their sins for 40 days during the season of Lent. And then on Ash Wednesday, as well as all Fridays during the Lent season, Catholics, they're supposed to refrain from eating any form of meat. The devil is also another similarity. The devil exists in both Islam and Catholicism, and both Muslims and Catholics agree that the devil is a specific, literal being. He's completely evil and he tries to turn people away from God. And the Catholic view is that the devil is a fallen angel who rebelled against God, but in Islam, the devil is of a class of being known as jinn. So there's a difference with the origin of the devil, but both religions agree that the devil is real and he is a literal being. There's also similarities in the Bible. That's at number 2. Catholics consider the Bible to be the holiest book, but also Muslims consider certain parts of the Bible to be holy as well. Although Muslims do consider the Quran to be the holiest book, it doesn't mean that they completely dismiss the entire Bible because they believe in its existence. According to Islam, some parts of the Bible are actually revelations from God, and Islam views the Torah, the Psalms, as well as the Injil or the Gospel as being inspired. However, they do believe that the Bible was corrupted throughout history. We're going to end off this episode with number 1, and this similarity is charity work. Oftentimes, these religions are seen in the light of past evils of some of its members. Now, they're bad Muslims as well as there's bad Catholics. But I feel it's also important to recognize the good that each of these religions do. Muslims and Catholics, they both practice and heavily preach the importance of charity work and giving to the poor. One of the 5 pillars of Islam actually is zakat, which is an obligation for every single Muslim to give a portion of their wealth to the poor. And in Catholicism, charity is a very important obligation, and this is found in the Bible according to the words of St. Paul in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 13. It says, "The greatest of these, faith, hope, and charity, is charity." And charity, by the way, in some Bibles is translated as love, but it all stems from the same idea of giving back to humanity. Catholics are encouraged to give a certain percentage of their income also to the church, as well as other Catholic charitable causes in the world. And that's where we're going to end this episode. This was a look at 10 similarities between Islam and Catholicism. I know, just 10. There's a whole lot more, but that's all I could fit in this episode. So let me know if you would like to see a part 2. Also, don't forget to check out the recommended episode that I mentioned earlier on. That link again is below in the video description section. And that's it for me, guys. Until next time, stay awesome, stay educated. I'll see y'all real soon.